Well, here is my first real raid on the garden. Up until this point, I had a couple of zucchinis I picked, some of the cherry tomatoes, green beans, sweet peas. But here was a surprise, as sometimes happens. When I bought the plants at the local nursery, I was buying these, which are Hungarian banana peppers. Cubanas is what they call these, and they're hot. They're not wicked hot, but they're hot, and if you eat enough of them, it'll burn your mouth. But anyway, I noticed that in the row of plants, this was growing. And this is not, obviously, a Cubana. This is a cowbill or a cowhorn pepper, which is fine with me because I did grow these before, and I love them. I slice them up real thin, put them in freezer bags, and I throw them in, well, anything. You can put them in anything, really. Spaghetti sauce and goulash, or you can cut them up with pepper, with onions and fry your potatoes that way. They're yummy, and they are of a hotter. They're hotter than these. Also out in the garden that I didn't pick are some jalapeno, which are the hottest of the three. Over here, these are actually ripe. They're the yellow cherries, which are the sweetest cherry tomatoes you'll ever have if you ever see them. You should definitely grow them. They're wonderful. I love them. They're like eating little candy. I think this was just a generic tomato. Not a Heinz 57. Geez, I can't remember the name of it. But it's a small tomato, which is what I wanted. Out in the back on the pot, flower pot that's in the patio, I have some of the heirloom tomatoes that grew up on their own from last year. So I don't know which ones that are growing. I just know that they're heirlooms because I can tell by the shape of the leaves. So we'll see what those are. And when they get ripe, of course, I'll pick some of those and show them to you because heirlooms are pretty interesting tomatoes. Now over here, this is kind of interesting. This is a typical yellow squash. And this looks like a yellow squash, but it's not. In fact, it's a zucchini. I saw it this year at one of the places where I was shopping for plants, and I had seen it, and I got them because I thought, well, it would be a breakup in the color when you're cooking things together. Sometimes you get all too much yellow or all too much green, and it's not very appetizing. So this is the regular green zucchini, as is this one, and this is the yellow or orange zucchini. Now, when we were kids growing up, and my mother and father had a farm, and we sold produce by the side of the road. We also sold to a local factory by the ton. We picked tomatoes by the ton. We picked several things by the ton, and we sold them. We had a pretty good-sized farm. But anyway, my mother would make this thing where she picked vegetables. She threw them all in the pot, cut them up, threw them in a pot, threw some water in there, salt, pepper, garlic, and probably hamburger. And she would call it hamburger soup. And you just cooked it all down, and man, is it good. And to this day, everybody that I know really likes hamburger soup. So tomorrow is my day off, and that's probably what I'm going to do with all of this, is just throw it all in a pot and cook it down, and make a meal out of it. You can put bulk sausage in there, or hamburger. Also, what's good in there is cabbage, and okra, and onions, and just about anything can go in there. Broccoli, green beans, everything that's in your garden can go in there. And you just cook it all down so the flavors kind of mingle together, and it is yummy, yummy. So there it is. It's my raid on the garden. It's Sunday, July 19th, and there's other things in the garden that haven't shown their face yet because of the storms that we've been having, which right now we're under a storm watch again. And of course I'll be at work like I was the last time and miss it, so hopefully it won't destroy anything in the garden or anything else. But I ran out and got these because a lot of times when the tomatoes are ready to be picked and a storm comes, the moisture of the rain will explode the tomatoes and they get a mold that grows on them very, very fast. So I saw these that were ready. I said, well, before I go to work, I'll run out there and grab this stuff. That way I know it's safe from any downpour that comes tonight. So there you have it. There's my first offering from the garden. Hope you enjoyed it.